Brian Fabiano, Monroe. So I think what we just witnessed there and throughout this evening is Ms. Skurbe, one of your campaign promises when you ran in 2020, you said transparency. Yeah, that's out the window. You haven't demonstrated one bit of transparency since you've been on this board, and as president, you've really crushed it. Oprahs are being denied left and right. You were a proponent for Oprahs to be fulfilled. Now they're not fulfilled by your crony, who's the superintendent of schools. You don't answer public questions. You don't share information with your board members or the public when they come up and ask questions or transpire with you. See, that's the problem here. You sit here and you use your president's report as a campaign. You know, we know you're running for re-election in 2 months, and we're going to defeat you. But we let you, run out your stunt. But you ran on transparency, you ran on fiscal responsibility, you ran on integrity in education, impact fees, fair state funding, and to end corruption. You failed on them all. You have zero record on anything you ran for. And quite honestly, you make the past boards, who I thought didn't do a good job, look like some of the best people that have ever represented our kids or any school board in this state. I mean, under your record, you talk about, you campaigned on ending corruption. We just had a superintendent, the first superintendent of schools in Monroe's history, found guilty of 2 ethics violations at the State Department of Education. No, 2 charges, that's two charges and 1 complaint. And after the superintendent was found guilty, she's still committing the same acts, because I reviewed the agenda over the last couple of months, and there is no action plan that she told the state that there's an action plan, but she's still committing the same things, now just with her husband and not her son. So, I mean, it's a joke. When you ran for the board, Mrs. Skurbe, you said you wanted to end corruption. We had to get rid of a business administrator that had an ethics violation. But yet, we've not heard once from this board or you as the board president how we're going to hold the superintendent of schools accountable, because in your words in the past, she's unethical. But we've heard zero from you on how it's going to be addressed. Under you, as the president, Ms. Skurbe, and on this board, since you've been there, you want to end corruption. Not only has the superintendent had 2 ethics violations, you have 2 court cases going forward to the Office of Administrative Law for your own ethics violations. One in March that's coming up, and another one in April, May. Behind that, there's 3 other cases in abeyance that are going to continue after those cases go forward. So you talk that you want to have transparency and end corruption. It's a joke. I mean, it's a joke. And the member of the public is right. You voted. You don't even realize the contract that you put out for the superintendent's extension, the value of the contract that you put before a vote. It is over $1 million. Actually, I think it's $1.4 million when you factor in all the perks, the benefits, everything that comes with it. It's not just a pure salary, okay? But the funny part is, just a couple weeks ago, you put out a message to the school district, to the teachers and the principals and all the administrative staff. We have a hiring freeze. What does that mean? We don't have any money. So who isn't doing their job? Is the superintendent not doing her job? Is this board president, who said fiscal responsibility matters, is she not doing her job if we have to put a spending freeze? Is the BA not doing their job? But here's what I don't understand. We put a spending freeze just conveniently a few months after we pass a record superintendent contract. She can laugh all day. I mean, you got a good deal for being an unethical superintendent. I mean, I'd take your job any day, believe me. I mean, over $200,000 a year. But the fact remains, you are a hypocrite. And we will be there every step of the way during this campaign process while you're running in this community trying to tell your lies with your candidates. We know Matt Gorham's running with you. We know another gentleman's running with you. We will call your record out and we will hold you accountable because you're unethical, your cronies unethical, and it's time to be honest.